Good morning and welcome to Making Money Work for Regular People, where we discuss topics that are centered on making money work for regular people. This is one major reason why I don't really feature or talk about celebrities on my channel. I said features if I can call up a celebrity and say, "Hey, come to my show." Anyway, um, I don't talk about celebrities and their massive wealth or anything like that. It's because it's not important and it doesn't have anything to do with us. You know, I'm interested in regular people. I'm a regular person, and I don't run a 4.2 40 or anything like that. And my singing voice will not bring crowds to their knees and have them tearing up or anything like that. I'm not a crooner. Um, I think I can rap a little bit if I want to, but that's just a distraction. So anyway, I don't do any of the. I don't have any of these special talents. I don't, have a 45-inch vertical. Um, nor am I, um, nor am I rocket scientist. I'm just me, a regular person who does regular things in life. And over the course of life, I tend to accumulate things. In particular, assets. That's what I'm interested in. Assets that will make my life easier, where, I'll have assets that work for me so that I don't have to work for them in the future. And so now, but I am going to change up the tune a little bit, and I am going to introduce a celebrity quote. Well, I don't know if he's more of a celebrity than me. I'll put it that way. He's currently the head football coach of Kansas City, but I remember vividly some years ago when I was watching a football um, press conference, and it was at the time um, that this was going on. He had, suffered a death in his family to his son, and so I remember watching this press conference live on ESPN, and even though Andy Reid was, visibly, enduring the pain associated with a death of a family member, he made a quote that he probably says 100 times to his players in every game. I mean, in everyday situations. It's probably one of his quotes that his players know him by. But at the time, and even to this day, I thought that the what he had to say about approaching life in general was very profound. You know, and of course, the way he said it, because he was giving the press conference, I think he said it in a more longer, drawn out way. But really, I can give the I'm going to give the quote in the way he said it, and then I'm gonna give you the quote in short form, and then we're going to really deep dive into how that could apply, how that does apply to life. And it's one of my favorite quotes because, when I'm focused, that's the approach I take to life. So, um, the quote is, um, the first is eliminating distractions. Another is to create energy. You fear nothing and you attack everything. That's how you have to go about life. And to me, that was like so profound that it stuck with me, for all these years. So basically, my life's approach is eliminating distractions, creating energy, fearing nothing, and attacking everything. Yeah, think about that. And like, I know where my audience is going to come from. Um, once this channel starts gaining traction, like y'all gonna come from the same places I came from. I grew up in Inglewood. Although, don't get it twisted. I mean, it's not. I don't have a typical I got it from the mud type of story. Like my grandmother and my mother were two definitely two instrumental individuals in my life. They gave me the necessary attention to become a productive adult in my life, and that's what happened. You know, I've had my ups and downs, sure, but I didn't. I've never gone to prison. I've never been in jail. I've never been arrested. Um, and this is you talking about an individual who doesn't always make good decisions. Okay, so but I was grounded. You know what I'm saying? I was grounded by and humbled by my just thinking back on my relationship with my grandmother. Rest in peace, grandma. Um, and thinking about my relationship with my mom, and they're two different relationships, but nonetheless they came together um, for my benefit and my well being. When my grandma ain't had to do all that, you know what I'm saying? My grandma, my grandma had money. She had even though she lived the way she wanted to live, I think she could have been on cruises. I think she could have been traveling, but she made her own personal sacrifice for my benefit and my well being. And, I'll always be grateful. Same with my mom. Like, my mom, look, I ain't shit. Okay. My mom, um, it's funny thinking about that too. Saying that even though I have um, a high view of myself, like my mom was really my biggest influence as far as like who I am and the direction that I've chosen, as far as investing in life. Okay. Without her, there's no Glenn in, buying two properties so far. There's none of this. There's no pot. There's no YouTube channel. There's no me talking shit. None of that. So, you know, I thank my mom for everything as well. But with that being said, You know, um, just because I say I'm from Inglewood doesn't mean that I just have the typical hustling stories. Nah, I wasn't in the streets like that. Not at all. Wasn't in the streets at all. You know, I went to Luther South for, and then I went to Luther South's a private school, you know, which closed down. Then I went to Lindblom I transferred to Lindblom my junior year, and then finished off high school there. That school is located in West Inglewood, and then I went to SIU for a few years. So I didn't finish up at SIU, and I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't do any of these things in college. I didn't eliminate distractions. Instead, I allowed them to linger. I didn't create energy at all. I feared the future, and I didn't attack anything. That if you do all four of those things in that quote, you will have a wonderful life. You really will. You take that approach to your entire life, you will have a wonderful, wonderful life. In fact, when when I started working at the startup, I didn't realize until I was having a conversation, you know, with a friend of mine at that time. Um, I just you know broke out mid conversation. Like I guess we were having one of those "What's your purpose?" conversations, you know, that sometimes come up with women. One of those abstract conversations that I used to get into every now and then. Yeah, I still do to some degree, um, depending on my mood, I guess. And I realized that, man, the only thing I accomplished was working all my life and having jobs. I ain't accomplished shit. And then I felt like, and then, you know, this is why you have some of these abstract conversations with people because you start realizing that in the abstract, your reality ain't hidden. You know, I realized that my reality was very purposeless. And so I said that night, look, I want to buy a building. And my first purchase is going to be a building. Little did I know, little did I know, in 2018 was a weird year. Well, actually, I started my home search in 2016 because I had worked so much overtime that I had the money in 2016 to go and buy a building. I ended up not doing so because between 2016 and 2018, I wanted, I originally wanted a four flat. That would have been such a big mistake for me because I just wasn't ready for the expense and the know-how needed to um, both renovate and properly manage a 4 unit building. That was just too much. And then I had to live in it too. Nah, that's so. But anyway, but just making that commitment to it that night brought out a purpose in me because I'm the type of person who's known and who lives by the idea that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And so that became my new purpose in life, you know? And so eventually over time, what I did was I followed those four principles. You know, when I made the commitment to go and buy my own real estate, the first thing I did, the first thing I learned, I should say, was I needed to eliminate distractions. So I won't say that I never went out. Every now and then I'll go out with coworkers, but it seemed like at that time they were going out every Thursday, Friday. Yeah, every Thursday and Friday of the week. No. I'm sorry. I was on a. So actually, I was on a Wednesday through Sunday schedule. So it started off every. It started off, yeah, every Thursday and Friday. It stayed the same because nobody was going out on Sunday. Okay, so I had to eliminate distractions. That also meant avoiding as much as possible any kind of negative conversations about people or about the job in general. Because I already had my feelings about, other people and the job in general. But what I didn't need to do is I didn't need to feed into other people's energy and conversations about the workplace because, I feel like focusing on that was at that time for me, focusing on that was a waste of time. And it was distracting. And then next thing you get associated with, oh, you one of them. You run with so and so. And so the best way to like not be associated with that kind of negativity or that kind of negative company was to eliminate them as a distraction altogether. Um, just avoid it. Because I had a newfound focus, the energy that I created was focused upon getting that property. And then, obviously I fear nothing. Even though initially that was a lie, I feared not coming through. But then I got over that fear because I knew that I was doing the right things. I was eliminating distractions, and I had the energy needed to work overtime. And then I feared nothing other than any possibility of overtime ending for whatever reason. I feared nothing anyway. I just had faith in myself. And then I attacked everything. I attacked that overtime with such a I don't want to say a vengeance, but with such purpose. Because I needed the money. And yeah, I had made a commitment to save the money over time, over the course of a few years because I wasn't making nothing but I started out at $15 an hour and actually accumulated the money while still at $15 an hour. And I also wanted to prove a point to my coworkers who were complaining all the time. And don't get me wrong, I was not thrilled about making $15 an hour at all. But I couldn't allow that to distract me from my goal because before I could change my employment situation, I figured I need to change myself. I need to change um, my investing strategy. I need to get involved. I can't be on the sidelines. So what's more important? Well, part of the reason why I stayed at that startup for so long was because of the overtime opportunities. That kept me going. That kept me going because it wasn't guaranteed that if I went anywhere else that I was going to make more money. I might make a higher wage, but I wasn't going to get no overtime, most likely. So I stayed in the situation that suited me at that time, and I took those four principles and applied them. And so, what does that have to do with you? Everything, actually. You know, you'll be farther along in life and have way more success if you find a way to first set a goal. And then once you set a goal, then you move on to eliminating distractions, creating the necessary energy for your goal so you can get excited about it and you can accomplish it. And then fear nothing. Just get after it. Just get after it. Get after it as if you were a linebacker and a running back was trying to get up the middle. And then, boom, just attack it. You fear nothing and you attack everything. That's the only way to go. You can't just sit up here and halfway commit like all these people, like all the people in regular life do. Most people you come across are halfway committing. And it's stupid as hell. Like the concept of halfway crooks. Even Mobb Deep told you can't be no halfway crook. There's no such thing as halfway anything. Either you go hard for it and put your all into it and go 100% towards your goal, or you don't do shit at all. So my point is, learn from that quote and learn how to be so focused on something that it becomes your obsession. Because that's what I became obsessed with. Now, did I accomplish my goal exactly in the manner that I wanted, that I had envisioned? No. I ended up buying a single family house and it worked out way better than expected. And then I bought a 2-flat after that because I was just obsessed with a 2-flat. And I ended up overextending myself and going to deep debt and all other stuff. But that investment has worked out too. I just couldn't handle 30% APR. but I still have that too flat. So that's worked out for me thus far. Now my target is the debt, and I've been trying to figure out, as burnout as I've been over the last year and a half when it comes to working and stuff like that, of how I'm going to just gather up this energy and this work ethic needed to eliminate my credit card debt. And because it's going to take over a year, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 years for me to eliminate it. First thing I got to do, eliminate distractions. Don't worry about the time it takes to eliminate the debt, because time has a way of working itself out. Like, if I need to take a break at times, I'm going to take a break. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm cash poor doesn't mean that that I just have to take one approach to solving this problem. So if I feel like things are becoming overwhelming and everything, and I need a break, that's when I'll take a break. In fact, because I'm working so hard towards this goal, I'm going to always have money, even if it's to pay out the creditors or whatever. I'm always going to have money. So now, with me always having money, I'm going to have options. And so maybe 1 month I don't pay as much towards my creditors because I need to go out of town and relax, you know? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a flexible approach, but I'm not going to lose focus. First step, eliminate distractions. You know, whatever's on Instagram don't matter. Whatever's on TV don't matter. Whatever car LeBron James is driving really don't matter. Okay, because I wasn't no 18-year-old high school phenom just jumping out the gym. Okay, none of this stuff that has anything that doesn't have anything to do with paying off my massive credit card debt is a distraction. Now I got to create energy. I got to get excited about, this journey that I'm going through. At first I was depressed about it because, shit, I got to do all this effing work. That was my mentality. When in reality, it's an opportunity to create, to accomplish paying off this debt within a relatively short part of my life. Okay? 3-4 years. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years. That car notes are longer than that. Car notes of like 5 years. Some people taking on an 84-month note. Well, whatever. I don't judge. So get excited about it. Like, okay, what doors, what opportunities is getting rid of this massive debt going to create for me 2, 3, 4 years down the line and after? And it's going to create unlimited opportunities. You fear nothing. You don't worry about the burnout factor. You don't fear it. You know what to do. I know what to do. I know I still need to, self-care. I still need to, love people. I still need to interact with people. Um, but at the same time, now that I've, gone through this before, I know now that I'm not going to neglect my friends. I'm not going to neglect anybody who I have a genuine interest in, and I'm not going to affect. I'm not going to neglect my goal, and then attack everything. That's my favorite part. Just taking action, just taking massive action. That's my favorite part. And so, if you can, I was so excited about just the, you know, um, just envisioning, and I'm talking about, years ago, envisioning myself buying property in my name. Ooh, I was so excited about that I just couldn't wait to get to work. I hate work. Okay. I hated work. I hated that job. But all of a sudden, I felt a different energy where I just couldn't wait to accomplish my task. As a result, I went from being, because yeah, this affected my skills and ability. I went from being a mediocre rep to being an excellent customer service rep. You know, it's funny how your attitude about life and things that you dislike about life change when you finally have a purpose. You know, and so Andy Reid, um, I know that was a tough period in your life that you'll never forget, but I'll never forget your quote. And, all I have to say is thank you for sharing that quote with the public, because it affected my life in, more ways than one, in a positive manner. Matter. Manner. I don't know. But, it affected me very positively. Um, and it gave, most importantly, it gave me hope, you know, at a time where I really didn't have a whole lot of hope. So, I'd like to thank you for sharing that with the public, because I'll never forget. So that's it. That's all. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time.